Hey everybody, Bearded Rogue here, and today I want to talk to you about something that is all over popular media that I wish would just die in a fire, and that's the inept father. I am so tired of watching dads who are completely and totally incapable of parenthood. I have met people like this in real life, so I understand where the idea comes from. But I'm really tired of seeing it in media. I'm tired of seeing it on TV. I'm tired of seeing it in movies. I'm tired of this general pervasive attitude that men are totally inept when it comes to parenthood and cannot figure this stuff out. Um, it is not easy. Let me rephrase that. Parenthood is easy, um, as far as the going through the motions and what you need to do. Keep your child fed, keep your child clean. Parenthood is also incredibly stressful, and there's a lot of things that go into it. It is hard work, even if it is simple. Simple is better than easy. It is simple. The tasks individually are simple, but it is very hard work. Anybody who thinks that stay-at-home parents are doing nothing all day has no knowledge of what parenthood actually is. And one of the things that really made me think about it is that I finished watching The Incredibles 2 tonight in theaters. And of course, in Incredibles 2, just from the preview without any spoilers, Elastigirl goes back to work, and Mr. Incredible is left at home with the kids. And inside this movie, they actually managed to really kind of upset me at first and then turn it all around. And it was done in a way that really spoke to me personally, as a piece of media that I was consuming actually reaching out to me to say, hey, we get it, like, here. So, to not go into any real major details, Mr. Incredible's taking care of the kids, and of course he starts out completely overwhelmed. He worked for a living. The second movie starts basically minutes after the first one ended, so there's no, like, big gap in timeline. So in the first movie, he spent X number of years working in insurance and, being, having a job during the day while Elastigirl took care of the children and the household and the finances and all of that stuff. Pretty standard dichotomy of labor in a household where there's one person working outside the home. But it meant that he didn't have all of the experience of being a stay-at-home parent. So, of course, he bumbles his way into this, and has all sorts of, misadventures in the beginning of the movie. But there's one scene that I will talk about that is a minor spoiler, that really kind of turns it around and really made me kind of change my opinion of the whole movie at that point. So here I am watching him fail left and right and, completely mess up everything, mostly due to lack of experience. But he's sitting at the kitchen table trying to help his son with homework, and it's math homework. And of course the math homework is different now. I'm assuming that Dash is in Common Core math, and it's not taught the same way that a lot of us learned math growing up. So there's, a conversation about, how did they change math? Math is math. This can't be the way it is. And so, he's frustrated and overwhelmed, and there's so much other stuff on his plate, taking care of basically a toddler and, two older kids, and trying to manage his older daughter's, starting to be involved in romantic relationships, and his son and his schoolwork and the house in general and all of this stuff, and all while trying to deal with his own feelings on him not being the one going back to work. All of this stuff is in there, so of course this is like the perfect storm. It's not really about the math homework. It's about his inability to do this and how frustrated he is that this is, not working, and that parenthood is so difficult. so hard. And he has a whole bunch of other problems, and it's really, really late at night, and he walks over and he picks up Dash's math book, and he sits down to go ahead and learn how to do it the way Dash needs to do it. And in that moment, like, you can see he's bedraggled, he's tired, he's beaten up. You know, the toll of being a parent is weighing heavy upon him. Elastigirl is off doing things. She's not even at the house, so there's no breaks. There's no off time. He's 100% on 24/7 in a household with superpowered children. And, you know, he takes this moment to sit down and actually learn the math that he needs to help his son. And in that moment, like, I see this man who is very much, or has very much up to this point been portrayed as this inept father, this inept dad, actually taking on the fatherhood role, being a parent, like, in that moment. And it kind of turns the whole ship around. Like, he then goes and asks for help. Like, he calls a friend. You know, he gets a babysitter. He starts engaging in self-help stuff, self-care, to make sure that he can be the person that they need him to be. And so you see this man who's used to being heroic by beating up criminals, becoming heroic by trying to become the man that his family needs him to be for them to continue into the future. And, you know, they still play a lot of it for comedy, and there's still, you know, some moments where it's like that, but, like, he's completely overwhelmed by this, and when he starts bringing other people in, they're like, oh my god, I get it, like, I understand, like, your kid has 17 powers, and he's an infant, you know, a toddler, no wonder you're having difficulties, you know, all this stuff is going on, and, like, that's life. Sorry you're having to deal with this alone, but you're not alone now. How can I help? And, you know, whether it's just, you know, taking the dangerous super baby overnight, or, you know, just being there as somebody to talk to them. And in this moment, like, his kids see that he's trying and how hard he's working. To be the father that they need, and they reciprocate. Like, they let him sleep. You know, he wakes up and they make him food. You know, they take care of each other as a family in order to make this brand new living situation work. And it's really beautiful, in the long run, like as a whole, it's really beautiful. You know, they could have had Mr. Incredible be yet another, you know, Al Bundy or Homer Simpson or Peter Griffin or any one of the million fathers from media who are utterly inept and worthless human beings. You know, they could have had him be the, like, jerk workaholic who only thinks of himself and really lives his entire life outside of his house, at his job, or wherever the hell else he goes. And instead, they had him choose to be a parent and choose to become a better person so that he could take care of his family. And that, to me, is like the embodiment of fatherhood. And I think it makes the movie very strong to have them switch those roles like that. Both because I think it's a better example for what we need, a non-toxic masculinity in this world, and at the same time, I think in this purpose of the story, it has both of them appreciating each other more. Elastigirl appreciates that, you know, this guy who's a bit of a lunkhead at times has stepped up to do what needs to be done. And, you know, the kids are taken care of, and there's going to be mistakes. But it's okay, because she trusts him, and she knows that he will step up to be that person that they need. And he gets that, you know, her going out and being the hero and the one to save the day and the one who's pushing forward on the fight for superhero rights is important to her, to be out of his shadow and to like actually get the credit that she deserves, because he knows that she's amazing. He married her, but the world hasn't gotten to see that she's amazing. She's just, Mrs. Incredible. But her getting to be Elastigirl, and be at the forefront of things, is fantastic. And so, the rest of the plot of the movie, whatever, you could think about it, is, fine. And I'm not going to get into any of the details, but that scene of him picking up the math book is going to stick with me for quite some time. Because that scene, to me, symbolizes what being a parent, and more specifically being a dad, is all about. Stepping up and becoming a better person in the service of those that you are here to protect and nurture and take care of. So, that's it. They got me. Pixar got me again, in a different way this time. But anyway, that was it. I'm very tired of the inept father in media, and I really want to see more dads doing it the right way instead of just being inept jerks who are only in it for themselves. I think the world needs to see more of that, and I was really glad to see it in The Incredibles 2. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and thanks for watching.